elected BJP Parliamentary Party to meet today to officially elect Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the leader for a second term. NDA also to meet in Central Hall of Parliament to elect PM Modi as leader. 16th Lok Sabha dissolved after President accepts the resignation of Prime Minister and Union Council of Ministers. Prime Minister Modi says he is even more determined to fulfill the dreams of millions of Indians and to create a new India. Congratulatory messages pour in from across the world on Prime Minister Modi's landmark victory. US President Donald Trump also congratulates Prime Minister Modi. Both leaders agree to meet at the G20 summit in Japan next month. Ripples within the Congress as party struggles to deal with its decimation across states. Several party office bearers including Odisha, Uttar Pradesh state unit chiefs resign. Party failed to even open an account in 18 states and union territories. Congress Working Committee expected to discuss performances today. 20 dead as major fire engulfs 2 floors of a commercial complex in Surat. Several people injured. Prime Minister expresses grief over the incident. And in sports, Indian boxers including MC Mary Kom and Shiva Thapa win 12 gold medals at the India Open International Boxing Tournament in Guwahati. India end the campaign with 57 medals. Good morning. Those were the headlines at 7:30 this Saturday morning. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. The ruling BJP-led NDA has begun the process of government formation in its second term. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had earlier chaired the last meeting of the outgoing Union Cabinet and then met the President with his and the resignations of his Council of Ministers. President has requested the Prime Minister to continue till the new government assumes office. The BJP Parliamentary Party will meet on Saturday to elect the Prime Minister as its leader, officially setting into motion the formation of the next government.
Following a landslide victory, the National Democratic Alliance has initiated the process to form the government at the centre. Prime Minister Modi on Friday chaired a meeting of the Union Cabinet, and with the Union Cabinet meeting, the process of dissolving the current Lok Sabha and the outgoing government has also begun. The Union Cabinet forwarded to the President a recommendation to dissolve the lower house of Parliament. After the meeting, Prime Minister Modi also participated in the meeting of the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers expressed its gratitude to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi also appreciated the role of his colleagues and their contribution. After the 2 meetings, Prime Minister Modi called on the President and tendered his resignation along with the Council of Ministers. The President accepted the resignation and requested the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers to continue till the new government assumes office. The formation of the new government will kick off after the Election Commission notification, which will have the names of newly elected Lok Sabha MPs. Once the notification gets the President's approval, the process of constitution of the 17th Lok Sabha will formally begin. This process has to be completed by 27 June as new house must take shape by 3rd June. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi and the BJP President Amit Shah met party veterans Lal Krishna Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi a day after the BJP-led NDA secured a thumping victory. Prime Minister Modi visited LK Advani's residence and sought his blessings. He tweeted a picture and wrote, "Called on respected Advani ji, the BJP's successes today are possible because greats like him spent decades building the party and providing a fresh ideological narrative to the people." Prime Minister Modi also called on Murli Manohar Joshi. Prime Minister Modi tweeted, I quote, "Dr. Joshi is a scholar and intellectual par excellence. His contribution towards improving Indian education is remarkable. He's always worked to strengthen the BJP and mentor several Karyakartas including myself. Met him this morning and sought his blessings." Unquote. Joshi greeted Prime Minister Modi and the BJP President for the historic win of the BJP and said the nation wants a strong government.
देश के सामने एक मजबूत सरकार बनाने का, दृढ़ सरकार बनाने का की आवश्यकता सारा देश महसूस करता है। तो उसके लिए सिवाय भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नाते और नरेंद्र भाई एक नेता के नाते कोई दूसरा विकल्प नहीं था
जी।
और विपक्ष कोई अपनी कहानी, मनभावनी कहानी सुना नहीं पाया।
Meanwhile, rounds of meetings also continued in the BJP. The party president Amit Shah held several meetings with the party leaders. On Saturday evening, BJP Parliamentary Party will hold its meeting. Prime Minister Modi will formally be elected the leader of the BJP Parliamentary Party in the meeting. After this, Prime Minister Modi will be elected the leader of the newly elected NDA MPs in a meeting at the Central Hall of Parliament. Prime Minister Modi is also expected to address the gathering. With Sudhakar Das and Rishi Kumar, Shailendra Mishra, DD India.
Well, the 16th Lok Sabha dissolved after President Ramnath Kovind accepted the resignation of Prime Minister and the Union Council of Ministers. Earlier addressing the Council of Ministers, Prime Minister Modi thanked them for their industrious effort. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "The sun sets on this team, but the brightness of our work has will continue to illuminate the lives of millions. A new dawn awaits, a new term beacons. We are even more determined to fulfill the dreams of 130 crore Indians and create a new India all of us dreamt of." Among the reasons that scripted BJP's landslide win are the decisive, strong and honest government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Several welfare schemes have been in place that have transformed the lives of millions under the banner of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Prime Minister Modi's appeal among youth, nationalism and a negative campaign of a weak and divided opposition aided the BJP's rise.
The BJP-led NDA is all set to begin its second term at the centre following a magnificent victory in the Lok Sabha elections. There were a series of factors which led to NDA under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi registering a bigger victory than what it secured in 2014. The first 5 years of the Modi government concretized people's belief that a clean, strong and decisive government is possible, which they saw under PM Modi. A number of welfare schemes launched by the Modi government were successful in transforming the lives of beneficiaries. These included Swachhata Abhiyan, Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, Saubhagya Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and Ujjwala Yojana. The benefits reached those the schemes were meant to benefit, and this went in favour of the Modi government. Prime Minister Modi said that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is the core of his government's philosophy. The idea of taking everyone along and ensuring welfare of all took concrete shape instead of merely remaining a slogan. Youth form a significant part of not only the country's population but also the electorate. The steps taken by the Modi government struck the right chord among the youth and they voted for the NDA in large numbers. This was key to change the poll numbers in its favour. Nationalism and national security were among the key issues during the Lok Sabha elections. Through its actions and decisions, the government was successful in making people believe that it can best deal with governance issues. While the BJP-led NDA had an undisputed leader in Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the opposition had no such face as there appeared to be many contenders for the post. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his rallies slammed the opposition camp over its several prime ministerial aspirants. There was no answer to the Modi versus who question. Team Modi Shah was the biggest force behind the massive NDA win. The opposition does not seem to have a counter to the strategy of PM Modi and BJP President Amit Shah. The face-by-face strategy for Lok Sabha polls developed by the Modi Shah team worked as per plan. A scattered and divided opposition stood nowhere against a united NDA. The Congress was a junior partner in most of the states and many key opposition players preferred not to board the boat Congress was sailing in. Other than these, measures like GST demonetization and 10% reservation for the economically backward also cemented NDA's win. DD News.
Leaders from across the world, including US, China, Japan, Russia, Israel, Singapore, Vietnam and Australia, sent congratulatory messages to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his second consecutive victory in the general elections and expressed their willingness to deepen engagement with the country. US President Donald Trump sent a message congratulating Prime Minister Modi for the big electoral win. And Prime Minister Modi replied, this victory represents the aspirations of a nation of 1.3 billion people, and said he was looking forward to working closely with the US President for closer bilateral ties, which also augur well for global peace and prosperity. Both leaders also agreed to meet at the G20 summit in Japan next month. The White House said that the President and the Prime Minister pledged to continue to strengthen United States-India strategic partnership, building on the achievements of the last 2 years. Wishes also poured in for the Prime Minister from neighboring countries such as Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Bhutan. Meanwhile, in Odisha, after setting a new record with an emphatic win in the 2019 Assembly elections, BJD Chief Naveen Patnaik is likely to take oath as the Chief Minister of Odisha for the 5th consecutive term on May 27th. A high-level meeting of the BJD Legislature Party is likely to be held tomorrow to chalk out the party's strategy. Hectic parleys have reportedly begun amidst speculation that several old and new faces and women leaders will be given prominence in Naveen Patnaik's new Council of Ministers. In Andhra Pradesh, the YSR Congress Legislative Party meet is scheduled to be held in Amravati today to formally elect its chief, Jagan Mohan Reddy, as its leader. Also, Jagan Mohan Reddy is likely to be sworn in as the Chief Minister on May 30th. In Gujarat, at least 20 persons were killed and several others injured when a major fire broke out at a commercial complex in Surat. The fire broke out on the second floor of Takshila apartment, where a number of students were attending private tuition classes. About 17 teams of the firefighters rushed to the spot to control the fire and conduct rescue works. The injured were rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, the state government has ordered an inquiry into the incident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief at the fire tragedy in Surat. In a tweet, he said his thoughts are with the bereaved families and hope that the injured recover quickly. The Prime Minister asked the Gujarat government and local authorities to provide all possible assistance to those affected. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh also expressed anguish over the incident. The Home Minister tweeted, "Deeply saddened by the loss of precious lives due to the fire in Surat. My thoughts are with the families of the deceased. I pray for the speedy recovery of the injured." Union Health Minister JP Nadda has assured the Gujarat government of all possible help in view of the fire incident. He has asked the Director AIMS New Delhi to be ready with all necessary arrangements. A team of the burned trauma doctors has been constituted and they have been put on alert. Nadda spoke to the State Chief Minister Vijay Rupani following the incident. Meanwhile, Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has ordered a fire safety audit of schools, colleges and coaching centres. Visiting the site of the tragedy, Rupani said that the audit would find out if educational establishments in the state have proper equipment and facilities to deal with fire incidents. He said the fire audit would also cover hospitals, malls and other commercial buildings of major cities and towns in the state. He added that the state government has brought in forensic experts to find the exact cause of the fire. The Supreme Court dismissed a plea of former Kolkata Police Commissioner Rajiv Kumar seeking extension of protection from arrest in the multi-crore Sharda chit fund scam case. Kumar was earlier granted protection from arrest by the Apex Court for 7 days, which ended on Friday. A vacation bench headed by Justice Arun Mishra said Kumar can approach the Calcutta High Court or the trial court, therefore seeking relief. At the onset, the bench told Kumar's counsel that the bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi had already passed an order in the matter, and later the CJ High had also declined urgent listing of the application filed by the IPS officer seeking extension of protection from arrest. When the counsel said the courts in Kolkata are not functioning due to the ongoing lawyer strike, the bench said that he was wrong and the courts were sitting there. The court said that all judges are sitting in courts and they are hearing litigants. Your client is a former police commissioner and he knows the law better than many young lawyers. He can personally go to the courts there. Moving to international stories, British Prime Minister Theresa May announced she would resign as the Conservative leader on June 7th after she failed to win support from party lawmakers for her strategy for the UK's divorce from the European Union. With a leadership contest for a new Prime Minister to kick off the following week starting June 10th, she would meanwhile stay on caretaker Prime Minister until a new incumbent has been elected by the Tories. The United Kingdom was to leave the 28-member economic bloc by March 29, but failed to meet the deadline and now faces a renewed Brexit deadline of October 31st. A package blast on a pedestrian street in the heart of France's city of Lyon wounded several people on Friday, officials said, just 2 days ahead of the country's hotly contested European Parliament elections. President Emmanuel Macron called the blast an attack during a live Facebook interview, adding that no deaths had been reported for the time being. Police are searching for the suspect, apparently in his early 30s, as seen on video surveillance cameras. A terrorism probe has been opened by the Paris prosecutor's office, which has jurisdiction over all terror cases in the country. France has been on high alert following a wave of deadly jihadist terrorist attack since 2015, which has killed more than 250 people. A powerful explosion ripped through a mosque ahead of Friday's prayers in Pakistan, killing at least 3 people and injuring 28 others in rest of Balochistan province. The blast triggered through an improvised explosive device, that's an IED, targeting the Rahmania Mosque in Pashtunabad area of the provincial capital, Quetta. No group has claimed responsibility of the attack. President Dr. Arif Alvi and Prime Minister Imran Khan condemned the terrorist attack in Quetta. A security official said that the death toll could rise as it was a powerful explosion. On to sports, Indian boxers including MC Mary Kom and Shiva Thapa have won 12 gold medals at the second India Open International Boxing Tournament in Guwahati. Overall, India swept the medals in 4 men's categories, 52, 81, 91 and plus 91 kilogram categories, and in 3 categories in the women's sections, 51, 57 and 75 kilogram categories respectively. To conclude the campaign with 12 of the 18 gold medals up for grabs. India had bagged 6 gold medals in the inaugural edition in New Delhi last year, thus doubled their gold count in their continental meet that witnessed a depleted field with a no-show from Uzbekistan. The concluding day event of the tournament was attended by Assam Chief Minister Sarbanan Sonowal. In all, Indian boxers gave a stellar performance as they ended the tournament with a rich haul of 57 medals. On to cricket, India and New Zealand will be locking horns to get things underway ahead of the World Cup 2019 on Saturday. While the Kiwis will start their campaigns against Sri Lanka exactly after a week, the men in blue still have decent time to go before they play their first game on June 5th against South Africa. As for India and New Zealand, the T2 teams that are concerned, they will face each other in the tournament on June 13th at Trent Bridge in Nottingham. They will be hoping to get rid of the nerves in the warm-up encounter and also get hold of the conditions on offer in England. Tom Latham isn't expected to play the warm-up fixture as he is injured, while the rest of the squad is fit and available to play for the Kane Williamson-led side. The Indian squad is coming off an hectic IPL, which followed a decent break and will be raring to get going. Virat Kohli will be looking to fix the number 4 conundrum in Team India's first warm-up game in London on Saturday. Meanwhile, in a big surprise, Afghanistan beat Pakistan by 3 wickets in a World Cup warm-up match at Bristol, featuring an unbeaten 74 from Hashmatullah Shahidi. Opener Hashmatullah Zazai hit 49 and Mohammad Nabi added 34 to see Afghanistan to victory. Earlier, Nabi took 3 for 46 as Pakistan were bowled out for 262 despite a century from Babar Azam. In the other World Cup warm-up match, South Africa beat Sri Lanka by 87 runs in Cardiff. Well, that's all we have in this edition, but for all the latest news and updates round the clock, you can follow us on Twitter and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is @DD News Official for all the latest updates there. Also for Twitter, while you are on the move, you can catch all the latest news and updates on our Twitter handles in English and Hindi. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for watching. Up next, 15 stories that are making news in 5 minutes. Stay tuned.